Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Isaac Walsh, and I'm here with Daniel and Tom, and it's Tom Haeussler, and it's Daniel
Vela.
I did both those wrong on purpose. Isn't that cool? And they are here from Catholic Charities, and they are friends of ours, and we're going to get into what they do in just a second. Say hi, boys, by the way.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, good to see you.
All right, so Tom and Daniel do a lot of good work in the community. Tom is Director of Development of Catholic Charities, which is a great group. You guys have the nonprofit thing down to freaking science, and I love working with you guys. Daniel is a stand-up comedian. He's working with Sacred Heart stuff, and the official Veterans Village coordinator and Marine vet. We won't hold that against him. It's okay. And being a CB, we all work together. Anyways, if this is your first time and you know someone that is struggling with drug rehabilitation, have them go to UCAN, Michigan.com. Click on struggling. They meet people in the hospital for overdoses. They have them get out to housing. We got 20 different groups that we work with in drug rehabilitation. Check them out, UCANMichigan.com. Or you just know someone that's struggling in general with life, needs food, clothes, baby formula, something, go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. That is your veteran drug rehabilitation website. We got 20 different nonprofits that we work on. Click on there, free or next free, everything that you can think of, including Catholic Charities is one of them. You can check them out, and they all do good work in the community. All right. Hopefully they're liking and subscribing to you guys because you guys do a lot of good work. Now, Tom, you've been involved with Catholic Charities for how long now?
A very long time, about 3 months.
3 whole months?
3 whole months, not even half months.
Man, I better stretch.
Here we go. So I'm a pro by now.
Yeah, you know the weight room is. I'll check it.
Exactly.
So 3 whole months. So why this job, Director of Development? Developing what?
Yeah, so developing. I ask myself that all the time. What am I developing? I don't know. No, yeah. It's such a gift to be there. You know, I'm Catholic. I love being Catholic. I'll shout it from the mountaintops. Yeah. And I love the mission of Catholic Charities because it's a mission of the Catholic Church. We're the hands and feet of Jesus.
All right, so just break down why this one? What were you doing before, I guess?
Yeah, so before that, I've been everything from an executive
is that director. Official position?
It is. It's sort of like when your daughter sleeps 3 hours last night and you're like, how do I words right now?
How do I word? And you said she's 2, right?
Oh, yeah, she's 2.
Oh, terrible 2s is a thing.
Oh, yeah, and teenagers are a thing too, what I hear.
Dude, the word they learn the most is no. You never teach them that. They just know it.
Oh, right.
It's ingrained.
You know?
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's ingrained. Yeah, terrible 2s is good fun.
But everything from being an executive director of a Lutheran church and school to being a business manager.
Which one?
Trinity Lutheran Church and School in Elkhart, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, my wife graduated from a Lutheran school there up in Detroit area.
Yeah, Lutheran, they do education right. It's amazing.
Well, I know that she's smart, and it makes me nervous. I know that. I'm like, don't look at me that way.
Right.
Yeah, I just have to be pretty.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So you've been involved in this kind of work for a while?
Yeah, so long time since out of college, and it's something that's I'm passionate about. You know, at first I wanted to do electrical engineering, but in the summers I worked at a camp retreat center where I worked with adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities. And it wasn't until I was called outside myself and had to wipe somebody's butt that I learned humility. Because it was the first time in my life where I had to step outside myself. And
imagine being the guy that's got to get his butt wiped, though.
Yeah. And there's,
there's
humbleness needed on both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
And that super sucks on both sides. But it's like, oh my gosh,
we'll all be there one day.
Yeah.
Right. Getting old is not for sissies. Right. You know what I mean? And it's as you get older, it's holy smoke. So, Catholic Charities does all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to list the stuff I know, and then you tell me the stuff I don't. So I know I partnered with them from the jails with the homeless, and they let them stay in the wintertime. They're up to 100 people plus feeding. Yeah. I know you have the prison program. I work with what's his name that does the prison program. I know you
Dennis.
Huh?
Dennis?
Yeah, Dennis. Yeah. Of course, Dennis. And I know you do the washing clothes. I know you do drop off. I know you basically have a supermarket in there that people can get clothes. I know you have a medical in there. And I know you're doing stuff with the Veterans of the Sacred Heart. Yeah. I know you do stuff with the community. You have something called the fun department. I know those things.
Man,
Right? That's
You're
pretty solid.
good.
I
You're
did
up
some
to
good
date.
work.
I'll give it to you.
That's the tip of the iceberg right there. I've been there 3 months and I still haven't found a way to condense everything in like a sentence because we do so much, which is amazing. So I'm just going to read it off.
What's your bullets, buddy?
Yeah, so our bullets here: Catholic Charities of Shiawassee and Genesee counties. That's not a mouthful right now at all. And we've been committed to serving the needs of the forgotten in our community for over 80 years. So this isn't our first rodeo that we got.
No.
And we're an anchor for Shiawassee and Genesee County residents here, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And we provide, and here are the bullet points: soup kitchens that serve meals 365 days a year, one-stop housing services, medical transportation services for medically fragile children, the only warming center, as you talked about, in Genesee County, child welfare that has both foster care and adoption services, prevention, education, and offender success programs, where we help our returning citizens.
Yeah. Do you do work with Ennis foster? You might not know as far as like the fostering of the kids and stuff, because I work with them too. It's a pretty good foster care family network. I don't know if that was a direct connector if you guys had your own.
Yeah, that I'm not too sure, but I'll have to find that out.
Dude, I told you I'm a nerd.
I've heard of them.
Dude, that's important.
Yeah,
And then we also have a community closet that provides clothes and personal need items, counseling services, and pretty soon what we're going to talk about here is a comprehensive transitional housing program for veterans.
Yeah, which veterans, we know and love, and you do all do that stuff. And been a part of that stuff for about 6 or 7 years now. Now, Daniel and I met a couple of years ago at a friend of ours' house who hates her name being mentioned, but she's amazing, and I love her. And she has all the sassafras that you could be looking for, and she loves vets, and I just love her back. And we're going to give her a shout out. So she's amazing. Strength in numbers is just
great.
That girl just keeps swinging,
always.
And I love it. She's got all the sass, and I love it. So you now are a comedian. And I
use that word loosely, but
most do.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I wanted you to give a chance. Give us one. Give us a gem.
Oh man!
And don't start with hickory dickory dock or anything. Okay.
Mouse ran out the clock though.
You want a joke, man?
Yeah, please.
Hit me on the spot for a joke.
Because you're funny.
Oh man,
we were laughing about this yesterday.
Yeah, let me think of something I got here.
Well, listen. While you're thinking about that, let me just run through a couple other things and brag about you. Do you mind?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Daniel's been doing that work for a minute. And it's like, and when you're doing this, it is thankless at the beginning. Nobody knows your name and nobody knows what you're doing. And you're broke and you're just not getting any help. And you're just trying to survive while you're helping somebody. And it takes a broken person to help people. And you were that guy. And you won't tell anybody, but I'm telling you, it was freaking awesome to watch as this thing started to click up for you, because I knew you were hitting it, and we've been hitting it in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were having your ears ringing the other day, that wasn't tinnitus. That was me bragging about you in the ether, and I wanted you to know that, man, because
appreciate it, brother.
You've been swinging hard for a while, and it's thankless sometimes, and you did good work. So I wanted you to know,
and I appreciate it, man. And I was a volunteer for a long time,
100%.
but I've probably been. But officially with Catholic Charities, just as long as Tom, we kind of got there around the same time. So,
on behalf of everybody else, I'd like to say welcome to the pros.
Right. So kind of. So now it's official.
That's it. All right. So I gave you time. What did that brain rack up?
Man,
what did you chamber in?
No pressure.
I'll give you my favorite joke. I guess I do right now. I talk about my kids and teaching your kids and stuff and everything. Yeah. And I like to teach my kids some of the games I played as a child. And so. And so we enjoyed this one game when I was a kid, and you guys might know the game. One kid gets the ball and he tries to go from one side of the field to the other side of the field, while 9 other kids try to give him a concussion. Now we called this game "Smear the Queer."
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
We didn't mean it no bad way. We were just kids, we just the odd kid out, the one kid with the ball,
Yeah.
But I asked my son, I was telling him about the game, and I said that's what we called it. I was like, oh, what do you call the game now? And he's like, Dad, I think we call it a hate crime now. I was like, probably right,
Yeah, what street is that on? I just want to know if I can play.
Right.
That's so great. No. I'll give you one of my favorite ones, if you don't mind. You're welcome to steal it if you want.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Go ahead. It's yours.
My granddaughter was like, what was it like when you were growing up? I was like, well, my social security number was 6.
Right. I'll give you my favorite.
And my favorite one is, how did you get yelled at outside? It was like, donkey, because we were riding it. Oh, that's funny.
Right. I'll give you my favorite joke from a pro from one of my
now
favorites.
We're talking.
Is,
we had to prime the pump.
Is Rodney Dangerfield, one of my favorites, and
no respect.
Yeah, and he's got the joke where he says, "I went to my doctor. He said I was overweight. I said I'd like a second opinion. He said, okay, you're ugly too."
Hey yo, Dr. Benny Boom Bots. That was so good.
I loved him. He was great.
Oh my gosh, dude, his eyeballs made him funny because he looked like a fish, you know.
Man.
And I was like, yeah, I bet you sold siding. That makes sense.
And he grew. I watched a lot about history on Rodney. Man, he grew up with a tough life too, you know. So
yeah, no, but it's good, dude. I love what you're doing. So we're doing a chili cook-off November 11th. From 1 to 4 out at Freedom Lake in Lapeer. If you guys want to check that out, it's free for vets. Everybody else, I think it's $5 a ticket, and then sponsor a vet $10 a month. A homeless vet that's been disabled, and we give them housing, help with finances, get them a job, and you're supporting someone who's already supported our freedom, and so it's beautiful that it all reciprocal that way. The same day, however, you're doing
couple events, yeah. So
yeah. What do you got?
So in the morning we have I'm on the board with the Genesee County Veterans Memorial, McFarland Park, right down the street from here. Beautiful memorial that they put a lot of work and money into over the last few years to get it how it should look, to kind of respect our fallen heroes. And every year it's an annual thing. We do our Veterans Day ceremony there. We raise the flags. We have the community come out.
Is that like a 9 a.m. thing?
It's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock it starts. Because the Veterans Day 11/11 at 11. It's kind of tradition.
Yeah.
And we have that. But this year, Catholic Charities was kind enough to donate their venue, so the St. Michael's Conference Center, and so that we can, after the ceremony, we take all the veterans down there for a free lunch. We have a great Philip Wise, a great keynote speaker that day speaking. Cool. And so we're doing that free lunch at 11 o'clock. So anybody that wants to come down to the memorial and watch the ceremony, then have a free lunch, they're welcome to.
There you go.
RSVP, Catholic Charities website.
Catholic Charities website, what? CatholicCharities.com.
So we got two, since our name is so long, Catholic Charities of Shiawassee and Genesee counties. Yeah. So we shortened that down to ccsgc.org. And we also...
Hold on. CC what?
Yeah. What?
Make me pronounce my H's?
What? CC Whitfens.
Whip. Sorry, the nerdery is strong.
It's amazing. No, don't stop the nerdery.
Anyway, CC.
So ccsgc.org.
ccsgc.org.
Or if we don't like acronyms, we just have CatholicCharitiesFlint.org.
So that's cookwish.org.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get that, that's cookwish.org.
Exactly. Right. I love the enunciation. It was perfect.
Yeah. Right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do with our cool whip around here. Why do you say it like that? Oh, God. If you know that one, comment in the section. We know which one.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, if you guys want to do that memorial, head out. Then we do the chili cook-off, which is free for vets. That's in Lapeer at Freedom Lake. And she's got 5 acres, stock pond, honeybee, skeet shooting, bike riding, 6 apartments, 5,000 square foot house. She's put all of her money into this, money where her mouth is, and she wants to make it new for the vets.
Nice.
And she gives them up to 2 years as long as they got a honorable and they get a job.
Nice.
And all the money that she gets goes to that. She doesn't take none of us take a single dollar for this. We just put it in there. So that'll be 1 to 4. And then you're doing the show.
Doors open at 5:30 at the St. Michael's Conference Center, Saginaw on 5th, right here in Flint. And we're doing a fundraiser. It's going to be a comedy show.
What's the fundraiser for?
For Sacred Heart Veterans Village, for building these 26 veteran homes and the Veteran Center that's going to be right here in Flint.
All right, we're going to get to that next, but go ahead and what's going on?
And we got some veteran artists that day setting up. So there's a few different artists that are also veterans to highlight their art, their books, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
As well as the 3 comics we have. They're all funny guys. And they're all also veterans. So all veteran artists we're highlighting that day, pretty much.
Dude, you got to see if you can get one of them artists to come on.
Okay.
I would love to have them on.
Oh, yeah, no
Just
problem.
Do
No
them
problem. I'm sure.
So the Sacred Heart thing, for those that don't know, and the fundraisers for this is super great. This has been going on for a couple of years. You're breaking ground or just broke ground?
We'll be breaking ground next month.
That's
our groundbreaking ceremony next month.
It's almost like we teed that one up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's for vets, and tell people like the idea and then like how it came through.
Well, Sacred Heart Veterans Village, the idea came from really Catholic Charities. I believe it was Karen Church, who used to be the CEO there, that initially... What's it?
Vicky Schultz.
Vicky Schultz, my mistake. That had the idea for this.
Yep.
And
but Karen Church is a great board member.
Yes. And they had the idea to serve, but as you see, they serve so many demographics already. They're doing so many things in the community to help people. It's just that
Catholic Charities help people.
Yeah. So the next group of people they want to help is veterans, and helping them get off the street. And so it'll be 26 homes altogether. We already have 2 model homes built. Have 24 mil and 5,000 square foot Veterans Resource Center where we can hold anything from concerts to freaking group therapies to classes, the courses, anything we can. Comedians, open mic nights, anything we want to do that we think can help the veterans there,
Yeah, I know you just didn't bring up Three Stooges.
That's nice. So no, the nerdery is strong. Anyways, dude, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man.
That's good. So yeah, and it's super great because the idea of like small modular, like Elon Musk brought it up, and then Catholic Charities like, how do we do this here? And then they came up with this idea to do it, and the vets come in there, and so if a vet wanted to see if they qualify, like what's the qualifications, time frame, and that kind of stuff, do they have somewhere they can go? Is it we go to Catholic Charities of Genesee County and Shiawassee?
It will be
dude, that's a twist, dude.
Yeah.
So they can just hit Genesee or Catholic Charity, Google Catholic Charities, and it'll pull it up, right?
Well,
because it's a mouthful. We got to work.
Yeah. Maybe you Google Catholic Charities, you usually be able to find us. We're out there.
So, like, what's the prereqs for it or whatever?
Well, a few things we got going on there. There is a program fee. So when they're staying there is a program fee, which is up to 30% of at the max 30% of their income. So based off what they make,
give them enough stake for they.
Well,
or is that the investment that they use to help maintenance the?
Yeah, kind of just their investment into this place. And I've got a little bit of pushback on it when I say there's a program fee, but I really believe I've come around to it too, that I think it builds some character, man. Not everything's free in life.
The percentage versus the cost of them doing it themselves is like a 9 to 10 scale.
Well, yeah.
Or a 9 to 1 scale.
Yeah, you work out the numbers, man. There's really, because, you got your water, your electricity, you're going to have Wi-Fi paid for. You're really not going to find nothing cheaper. But
and they got to be sober.
Yep.
What are the other prereqs?
Yep. It's a sober resident. So no drugs, no alcohol. Yeah. Also no overnight guests there.
Yeah.
And you have to agree to our terms and conditions when you apply to our place. And that's so like and be a DD 214, be a veteran, and honorable, dishonorable, other than honorable. We're trying to serve the ones that fall through the cracks that aren't always served. So we're trying to keep even the guys that were discharged maybe dishonorably and stuff like that as well. So
yeah, the DDs are tough, man, because nobody wants, and sometimes it's weird.
Well, and that's why we want to serve them. It kind of puts us out of opportunities for different grants and different funds.
Yeah.
But that's okay because we want
the 99 to find the one.
Yeah,
and so that's what we want to do.
The word on the street.
Yeah, the ones that fall through the crack, the ones that can't always get help, we want to be able to serve them as well.
So, Tom, you come in there and you're walking into some great programs, and there's some great human beings on there. I've had nothing but positive responses from Catholic Charities. Anytime, like they're like, even if it's a no, they're like, something. Let's see if we can figure this out. And I love just highlighting what you guys do. So you're 3 months in. So what is your as far as doing your development, like what kind of things are you passionate about that we might be able to help, bolster both the word and give you some help on?
Yeah.
What do you like?
That's amazing. So what I like is my grandpa was a Vietnam veteran too. So helped plan Operation Eagle Pole. He was a lieutenant.
Eagle Pole?
Yeah, Operation
I don't
Eagle
know
Pole.
that one.
Yeah, it's it was his idea to push a lot of the helicopters and stuff off of the cliffs because they had to get out of Vietnam immediately. So he was a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps and was one of the best men I know. Unfortunately, he died when my mom was 19, but she just raised me to just love our country, love our veterans.
Wow.
And she instilled that in me, and even
so push them off instead of leaving them there and letting them take it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the kind of same thing in Afghanistan. And I know they say it's cheaper to do it that way than to ship all that stuff back.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's true, but I think it's easier. I think they just blow it up and make more.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think it costs way more, and I don't think they care. Cost isn't. That's what we worry about. They don't worry about it. They're like, forget about it. What was the tax rate this year?
But
so you're like into veteran stuff.
Yeah. So love
cool.
supporting veterans. And I truly believe that we're called to serve the widow, the orphan, and just those who are vulnerable in our society.
Mm-hmm.
And so just one thing that I love about our my Catholic faith is we're called to give a true gift of self. And what does that mean? It gives, and you give until it hurts, and then you give more.
And
what
so you
want to
hurt and give?
Yeah.
And you better stretch.
Exactly.
Nothing, Daniel.
I'm not very flexible either. So.
I mean, I'm not a comedian, but I'm trying over here. Come on, Benny Boone Boss. No, that's and the thing is, people don't understand that that's like a thing. But before I go on to the next section, I gotta do a shout out. This is Out of the Mud production company. Our boy King George in the background, being very focused, and we love him. None of this happens without him. He does some great work in the community too with veterans of now, helping with homeless vets. Just an amazing human being. Love working with him, and I know the coolest people. And what we do here is Spiritual Warfare Unit. We work with vets and drug rehabilitation. And if you know someone's struggling, have them go to UCAN, Michigan.com. Click on struggling. We can get somebody ahead of you within 24 hours. And then if you know someone's just struggling, we have a proper faith-based program for men. It's for wisdom application of the Bible. You can go on there, spiritualwarfareunit.com. Right now we're putting it out for free, only to help some people because a friend of mine told me to do that, and then it will be recharging for that later. That's one of the ways we raise money, and the money all goes to veteran concerts, veteran appreciation concerts, drug rehabilitation concerts. In fact, we're putting several together, as we did 2 this year. We're doing 5 next year. We're doing drug rehabilitation concerts. We're putting stuff together for Freedom Lake, and it sounds like we're going to end up partnering and do some stuff. Love. Veterans never pay for anything. I'm sorry. We already paid. That's and so come help those people that have allowed us to be free and do this stuff. And in return, we get to help them out, and then we just get to hang out with the coolest people. I love putting these things together so I can say, look at all the cool people I know.
It's awesome stuff, man, to see so many good resources out there for people. I love it.
And, for my car accident, I was stuck in my house for 7 years, right? Which is a different story for a different day. But what it did is it gave me a passion to go, I want to go do something other than sit in my house. And so, I want to go hang out with a concert. And I just couldn't find things that I could do because it was like, well, I don't want to drink and party and do all that stuff. But I want to hang out with my friends, and I couldn't find events to do. So I'm like, well, let's just do our own. And how hard is that? And then, and then you know how it works.
Yeah.
And then, and then it's like, oh my gosh, we had a show. That was an accident.
right.
And awesome. But anyways, checked all those out. And getting back to what we were getting into. So, Tom, you had just got in here, and you're working a lot with the veterans, and there is a million ways to go. Like Dennis with the prison program is really super good. The homeless program is like the warming area. They are packed to the gills.
Yeah, from December to March of every year.
Oh, yeah.
And we save lives.
Yeah, because they'll freeze to death.
And I still want to look up a correlation because I truly believe that we are playing into saving lives in Genesee County because I want to look at the mortality rate or deaths due to freezing outside before our warming center and after. And I really want to see how we're contributing towards that.
Well, you're able to get that information. I could hook you up with somebody who we actually use the information from the ambulances to identify high drug areas. And then that information can dictate for homelessness, and that could dictate in those areas. So, if I was to ask you, which state do you think people buy the most drugs? Which state do you think it is?
Oh, man.
What do you think?
I mean, part of me wants to say California.
I would say the big states.
No, which day? Day of the week, Monday through Sunday.
Oh, which day? I thought you said state.
No, day. No, day. Day
of the week. Okay, so day of the week. Yeah. Most paychecks hit what, Friday? Yeah. So I would guess Friday.
Friday. See, that's what I thought too. You know which day it is?
First of the month.
Tuesday.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, because they get through the weekend, right? Because that's when other people get their paychecks. And then the people that struggle with the addiction get it on Tuesday so they can last through. And they found that out through the information in the ambulances, right?
Wow.
It's super good information. Yeah. One of those things with vets. Anyway, something.
Right. Shout out to our first responders out there doing good work too.
Doing our things, boys. Can't get there without them, right? He's keeping us safe. I appreciate that. So the Sacred Heart Village is getting ready to launch. And I think you said the first 8 houses are going to be in March or April.
We break ground November, and then the Veterans Resource Center will be built first, and then they're kind of in cohorts of 4, and then the first 4, maybe I believe, are going to be built along with the Veterans Center.
That's super great.
And that's the Veterans Center really is the heart of it because that's where we supply the resources. That's where these guys can go for game nights, family movie night, even though there's no overnight guest allowed because that just opens us up to too much risk and stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about. What kind of risk would we have?
Right. But we can still
I don't know what George is telling me. I can't read
pull the mic up.
Pull the mic up.
There you go.
Point it towards. I did move it. was pointing towards me.
But
It
also,
doesn't hear good.
But yeah, the
better?
Resource Center, man, is the hub where we can host all these types of events for them to get the help. We can
So we
do
talking
peer
like
support.
poker, euchre.
We could probably, you know, game nights, do some euchre games and stuff, and board
Yeah.
games, whatever they're into. I've even thought of like doing Lego nights, you know, because
Lego.
you know, I enjoy doing
Oh,
Legos
yeah,
with my
great way to
children.
distress.
It gets you out of your mind a little bit. You're working with your hands. You know, it's something you can enjoy. Anyone can really enjoy.
You know, dude,
so.
I saw a Lego set online on Prime Day. I can't afford it.
Here we go.
But $500, you can get a set of Rivendell.
$500 for Lego.
Really?
You can have the whole fellowship right there.
I'm kind of a Lego nerd too,
Look
man.
at you guys. You're
I'm
like the whole Lord of the Rings, like all of them.
Like all of them. Whoa. Not the Balrog.
That's
that
it.
They meet later. You can get the whole fellowship. It's amazing.
But anything, man, we get creative with our ideas of what helps these guys out in there, and that resource center turns into whatever it is the people living there need it to be.
And also,
to help
it's bigger than that too, because we're welcoming in any veterans organization as well. The ones who use that as a meeting space, because we want to be a place for veterans to gather and just empower them, enrich them to live, you know, their best life possible.
Well, one of the things people forget about vets is it's like super hard to be social with normal people because you're like aware. You know, that doesn't go away, you know? Like, I don't know about you, like, but if I'm going to a place, I'm like, how many exits is it? How many people do I have to kill between there and that exit to keep the people around me safe, just in case I have to, like, have a plan. I hope to God not to use it.
It's fair to say there's a level of paranoia within a lot of veterans.
And it's like, but when you're with other vets, you can actually just be like, hey, you know, and like everybody's looking and you know you're good because you know everybody else is there. And if something goes, you're real good. But when you're not with your veteran friends, like it's super hard because you can't have your back towards the door. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I would say I have
I still struggle with that.
I struggle with that. I'd say, especially when I first got out.
That makes me feel better.
But after a while, think I've gotten a little better of relaxing in the public places, a little bit better about that.
I have not.
You know, not tell my sons like, you watch that door. Like, you know,
I need to see line of sight, and I need to be able to know that if somebody comes between my daughters and my wife, I have that ability.
I tell you what, it makes it tough when I try to do some meetings and then with multiple veterans. Yeah, and everyone wants wants to face the door. Yep. And now we're having a meeting to where we're like, are you good? You're good too. Yeah, we're all just standing on the same side of the room.
That makes a point. So being able to have a place over the Sacred Heart thing where you have all people are doing that, you can actually be comfortable because you know no one's getting past who's watching the door there, and you can watch their reaction and you can respond to that. And that actually matters.
Yeah,
you know?
And that peer support, and not only just in those instances when you're in a building and watching the door, but just living in that village and being surrounded by people you feel like got your back, kind of, you know, and maybe that gives you a little more bit of peace just when you're sleeping at night, you know.
Like I put those things out that I struggle with because I want people to know, look, it ain't just you. Like I'm, you know, like when it starts getting loud, I'm like, all right. Like I actually carry earbuds that block out sound on my keychain right here. Because sometimes, dude, people get like.
But I love it, man. You're being proactive to find a tool to help you deal with it, and that's those little things like there mean a lot to people sometimes, to veterans that are dealing with that, and those little hints, like, hey, man, you ever like
$8?
You're right, and it could maybe help
like
solve your
sound and all that kind of stuff, because it's like you're dealing with that coming back, and then like if you're injured. You know, you're dealing with the stresses of the motion sickness, the sound sickness, and then like you got to fight through those things.
It may be one of those things that you may not think of, but just through peer support, talking to another veteran that goes, "Hey, you know what helps me?" Sometimes when I get into those situations, I'll throw in some earplugs, and sometimes it's all it takes to be able to talk to each other and give each other some tips on how to get through, man.
Well, that's why I think your idea with the Sacred Heart Village is a brilliant idea, because it's like those are different needs than some of the average people, in which we help them out, food and clothes and survival, right? But it's like techniques of dealing with the stresses that you can't really, unless you've been to it, you don't want to know. And it's like if and you got guys in there doing it. Like when someone told me the first time I was overstimulated, it was another vet, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
Overstimulated for what? I was, and I wanted to make a joke out of it because I didn't understand it. And then we started breaking it down. He's like, do you do A, B, or C? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, that's what I mean. So it allowed me to like pay attention to it.
And I've seen it. Some veterans, they go up and and they get like real worked up. Some go down and they shut down in those situations. And, so.
Yeah, like we were doing that little strength. And remember we had to do the picture with the red.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I was like having a freak out. Had no idea why. And I'm just like, my eyes just started leaking. Like I wasn't crying. They were just leaking. And I was just like, and some girl, I had no idea. She just reached over and she's like, it's okay. And I was like, all right. And I just got done. I was like, because I just want to get the pick for her and get out of there. But like, people don't understand it's that kind of stuff. And as vets, there's so many people that want to help and do things. Like with Strength and Learning, there's over 50 different groups doing stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Well, and man, we've really kind of swung the pendulum on that from the Vietnam era days where these veterans were coming home and being disrespected, not finding any help, no resources out there for them, and just having to. And really, I give it up to them because they were the first era to be like looking out for each other and start changing things in DC, which gives us as veterans now the benefit to have these resources, you know, and so that pendulum swung because of them, because they weren't getting the help they need.
Right. They got beat up there and got beat up.
So shout out to them
home.
For, you know, crawling so we could walk kind of, you know.
But we got to keep carrying the torch,
that's
keep battling.
And that's true, man.
And, you know,
it's a constant fight. It really is.
With Catholic Charities coming on board with the Sacred Heart stuff and being a part of the Veteran Memorial Day thing, like that's very cool. So you're 3 months in. Like, what's your first take of it when you look? I wonder what it looks like compared to other things that you've done. You know what I mean, Tom? Says like what's your first when you come in? You're just trying to look at it and get an idea of the scenario. So like, what do you think?
Yeah, so it's very easy to say that you want to do things.
Yeah.
Because people have big plans. They have good intentions.
Right.
But it's one thing to have a nonprofit, to have a strategic plan and go, okay, in 5-10 years, we're going to get there. With Catholic Charities, with their strategic plan, very amazing. Not only do they have big plans and big ideas, they can have an idea like nobody believes veterans should be homeless.
Right.
Yeah. So let's make sure that they're not. What can we do? And then they have the resources. They have the community partners as well to get together and make this happen. So one thing that I see different at Catholic Charities in such a beautiful way is they're an organization of action.
Yeah.
Big ideas and action, putting those big ideas into service to help those who are vulnerable, those who are homeless, those who are hungry, those who don't have clothes, those who need to be adopted. And we are saying, we love you. We want to care for you. No judgment here. And we're going to serve you.
Yeah, I've had nothing. Like I said, I've been working with them over a decade. And like normally with the jail contingent, like those are your worst, don't touch my stuff people. And you know, like we don't want your people, we don't want those things. And it's a hard thing because it's like, well, they deserve it and they did something wrong. But like I've never had a thing. I've never had a thing. They're like, yeah. I was like, what do you need? And it's like this and this.
It's forgiveness, man. And if anyone's gonna be there to forgive and give people an opportunity to, you know, forgive themselves and get better, you know.
Well, like how can I judge? Like I'm guilty of half the crap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can't really judge somebody when I've done that thing. So it's like I'll give you a chance to succeed, but if you choose failure, like I accept that choice, but I want you to. I'm going to give you a shot at it. So if they say why didn't this work out? Well, they chose that outcome, which is fine.
Exactly.
I just don't like your answer.
Yeah, we have agency in those decisions, and you know, there's that old mantra of hurt people,
100%.
but we never talk about how healed people who were once hurt and broken can heal people.
Absolutely.
And we Catholic Charities, that's what it's about. Healed people trying to heal people.
Yeah, like do you ever hear the example of the Japanese teacup?
Kintsugi.
Apparently Dan has.
It's my most favorite example of what we do, you know, especially for vets, is when they have a teacup that's old, they have to put it in the fire to identify where the crack is, right? And so you can only make the teacup whole again by putting it through the fire, and then they fill the cracks with silver and gold, which becomes an artwork. And it's like the very thing that cracked them becomes the beautiful thing about them. And as a veteran, you know, you look at that, that's what God does to us. And he redoes the vessel, old wineskin into a new one. And he puts that on there. And the very cracks that were meant to break you become the beautiful artwork in your life. And that's what we try to put forward, right?
Yeah.
I know, right? Isn't that cool?
That's what it's all about.
Well, that's what I try to surround myself with, people that do that. Like, I know it sucks. I know it's hard. Let's go punch it in the face and go get there. Come on. I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to battle. I'll battle with you. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to help you walk. We're going to walk this day. And when you do it, I'm going to give you the credit for it and say, yeah, God did this direction and this outcome. Now you just do that for one person. Now let's go. Like, that's why we have, you know, Ministry Mafia, ministrymafia.com. Right?
There's a great video, man, on YouTube that I share with a lot of veterans that I've worked with about Kintsugi. It's a great, you know, maybe 8-minute video, and I'll have to send it to you sometime. But it's touched me, and from then on, I've been kind of like,
I know, I can tell. Like,
I'm like, it
brought a tear to my eye.
You know, it's good stuff.
Just a single
Yeah,
Single
one
tear.
single tear, which is
All right.
okay when you're emotional or a baseball game and someone's retiring. Like one tear.
There we go.
As a man, we're in touch. We're living inside. All right, I have to do a second shout out for Out of the Mud Production Studios, which is where we're at right now. Catholic Charities. So this is Catholic Charities of Genesee County, Shiawassee County.org. Now I'm here with Tom and Daniel, and they are from Catholic Charities and Sacred Heart Veterans Village, respectively. Both Catholic charities, both working together, but different things, but the same.
Catholic
under
Charities.
the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
umbrella of
Right.
all of it. Yep.
But
and
you're still under Sacred.
I am with Sacred Heart Veterans Village more so. That's my expertise, I guess. But yeah, I'm still working with Catholic Charities because they're the ones that are doing it all. Too.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
a
they're
Catholic
the,
Charities,
they're-
Sacred Heart Veteran Village.
Yeah. They're the muscle behind the madness.
Yeah.
And
And one more thing on that Veterans Resource Center, it's not just for those 20-some homes that are there for the veterans that live there. This is for the entire community of veterans, whether it's a veterans organization that needs a place to hold their board meetings, a meeting, or they would just like to come in. Any veteran that needs help can come in there and say like, hey, I need help with this. And
we have a veteran CR program, a Celebrate Recovery program. It's faith-based, veterans-centric.
Nice.
Yeah. So I can get someone trained in there and we get them out to them boys like as soon as that starts.
That's
we can
right
get
up
that
our alley,
running.
man.
Because
I
already do this stuff. This is easy.
Another thing, man, with the veteran suicide, a lot of those cases are veterans that were dealing with addiction. And when they committed that act, they were on drugs, drinking, something like that. So it really goes hand in hand. The addiction issue, and recovery with the suicide issue, they really are hand in hand. And so if we can help them to find recovery, to get sober, and to stay that way, and to find more positive things in their life to be addicted to, I really think we can save lives.
Because you know what's super funny about that is people have asked me, well, why addiction? Like out of all the things, right? Well, one, my mom struggles with addiction still. She's 71.
So many people do it.
And she's an amazing person. But the other thing is people with addiction, like they're looking for peace, but they settled for numb. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you were actually looking for this dude the whole time. You just didn't know it. And you settled for something that kicked your butt. Like that actually makes sense to me. And it's like, I can logically work through that process and go, hey, let me point you here. And, that's the beautiful thing about what we're doing. Yeah. And, Daniel, when you come in yesterday, dude, when you showed up at our little soiree we had out Swartz Creek, dude, I started giggling as soon as I saw your face because it was just like, I was so proud of you in the direction you're going. And now that we get to meet Tom and what you're doing, like I'm really looking forward to seeing, what it is that you're doing now. Do you do, is there like a monthly, quarterly meeting, directional, whatever?
We have a lot of meetings.
Oh, so yes, we have a lot of meetings.
Oh yes.
Let me tell you about some meetings. Yes, we definitely have Catholic Charities. It's a well-oiled machine. We got a lot of committees. Our board is amazing. We have subcommittees from our board. We have a Sacred Heart Veteran Village committee, and then 3 subcommittees under that.
Wow.
So it's every week it's a matter of preparing agenda minutes for somewhere between
that sounds great
4 and 6 meetings, but
right.
all this is needed to make it happen though. It's just part of it.
All the
labor
layers
of
are
love.
necessary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, sounds great.
All the admin stuff we're getting done now and things like that, the rules and regulations of the place, the policy procedures, all that kind of stuff that's got to be done before you can open up a place like that.
100%. Yeah, and then the rule book and the outlines and the expectation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't miss. I'm actually really good at that stuff. Like I had to write an entire rule book for a jail, like safety, like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm very good at that stuff because I'm a super hyperlogical person.
Yeah.
But it was like by the time I got done, I was just like, it's page 4, paragraph 3, section B. It says, and I'm like, I'm turning into this guy, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it.
When did I become this?
Dude, right? I was like, leave me alone. I want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Don't get me started on Lord of the Rings. I mean, I already got started, but I'll finish
Best
it.
one out of the 3?
Oh, best one? Okay, so if we're looking at what's most accurate to the books, because there's a lot of deviations in Two Towers and Return of the King.
Well, yeah, because they don't have enough time. But.
Yeah, and they left out Tom Bombadil altogether, but that's okay because there are only 2 characters in Tolkien's world that he really doesn't explain much. An Uligant, this giant shape-shifting spider that was friends with Morgoth back in the day, and Tom Bombadil. Some people think he's the Song of the Ainur. Some people think that he is a Valar or a Maiar. We don't know what he is, and that's a beautiful thing.
I love that nobody knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we lost you, stay
Thank you, Cole.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
beyond the extended edition of the movies
Oh,
in
heck
the
yeah.
theater.
Those are deep
But
cuts
I
from
feel like
Silmarillion
when
and-
you open this place, we're gonna have to have a Lord of the Rings night or something.
And we're
right?
talking about positive things that be addicted to, man. I think Lord of the Rings ain't too bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like we should have like a Lord of the Rings masquerade ball or something for like a.
There we go.
I'm just saying
There you
that
go.
would be
We're gonna
fun.
make
I
it
already
happen.
know
Hey,
who I'd
we're
be.
gonna make it
We're
happen.
open to creative ideas for sure.
That's right.
man.
Help
So,
me, help
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but no, as Halloween approaches, do you guys got anything going on for Halloween stuff?
Man,
As
I
far
got
as
I got the kids and dress them up, go get some candy. That's about
Yeah, a
it,
little
you
trunk
know.
or treats, a little
Yeah.
hanging out.
Well, and actually, I think we'll be on ABC News that morning.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. So we will be on the news that morning as
Halloween?
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should dress up and make a fool out of myself.
I
or,
know Lauren is.
Oh, are we going to dress
Are
up?
we?
Lauren is dressed up, and she
Okay.
said that
You see how he
it
says-
is allowed.
Do you see how he says, "Are we?"
I know, right?
He's
I'm
looking at you.
I'm gonna go as an old man
Yeah.
and just wear this
Can
sweater.
we,
Dude,
can
my-
we, Dad? Can we?
Dude,
Right.
my favorite one so far is my buddy comes in. He's just wearing a regular outfit, and I'm like, "You didn't dress up." He's like, "I'm a psychopath. I look like everyone else." And I'm like, "All right, that's
a
cool.
Genius.
That was good." Another one was 404 costume not found.
Oh, right,
That was
right,
very
right.
good.
Okay.
That made me think for a second.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's gonna be very cute. She's gonna be Baby Yoda.
Oh,
Oh.
She's gonna be a little Grogu,
nice.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it. Love it.
toddling
love it,
about.
love
Yeah,
Oh.
that's gonna be.
Yeah, so when we're
Are
doing
you doing Mandalorian? Are you?
I wasn't going
Mandalorian?
to. I have a legit Darth Vader helmet, but
Oh,
I
man.
might have to do Mandalorian.
With full voice
I'll be the
transfer?
Dadalorian.
Oh man,
No.
oh that's so great.
There we
Yeah,
go.
don't regret it if you don't. You got to do it. That'll.
Yeah, so on November 11th for Veterans Day, we will have WJR TV5 out there. I think we're at 50,000 people listening. All the money goes to the housing event. You have your
The
event coming
free
up.
lunch after the ceremony on Veterans Day.
Yep,
at
11,
11,
11,
11,
At
11,
11.
11, and then
Sorry,
five,
was that 11?
Yeah, 11 o'clock. You know.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then,
from
and it's also my birthday.
guguk.org.
that day.
ccsgc.org or
CC.
CatholicCharitiesFlint.org.
And then 5:30 doors open for the comedy show. You know, so
Yeah, 5:30
Yeah.
for the comedy show, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there and rooting you on, dude. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good fun. And then George has an event. What's the date on
November
that?
2nd, Saturday, November 2nd.
Yeah, and we're going to the field house, Burston Field House, and we get a police escort, and they do awards for people in the community that have done stuff, which is very awesome. And then they head up to Frankenmuth and they do the memorial thing, and it's super. George's Veterans of Now, which is a great organization. So again, if you know someone who is a veteran and they're homeless and stuff, please have them check out. Don't battle by yourself if we get to be your friends. We know the coolest people. Help us help you. You know what I mean? And I'm really looking forward to this. We are into our last 15 minutes of the show, and I kind of, Tom, like, it's as you as a human being, like, what is your age? How old are you?
How old do you think I am? This is a fun game.
You see, it's the beard, but
Yeah.
because it's light blonde and it's spiky, like it's like 20s or early 30s is my guess.
Oh, wow. Okay. So most people, they don't guess like a time frame. My brother, fun fact, somebody asked him at our church growing up, how old do you think I am? He overguessed and he said like 50. And this dude like had a midlife crisis. He was only like 38.
That's all it took
So,
to break him down?
Oh, yeah,
or-
that's all it took, you know.
I think there's
But,
more going on in his life, but that's all it
Exactly. But
took. Good to see you, fatty.
but I'm a good guess. I'm 33. My Jesus year.
Oh,
All
nice.
right, nice.
Yeah. I well, and I knew that your daughter was too, so I was just,
Oh, yeah.
taking a spot on there.
There's some clues there.
And so did you just recently move to this area? You've been in this area?
Yeah, so my wife and I recently moved
Okay.
to be closer to her family, which is
Okay.
amazing. My in-laws are now 18 minutes away from our
Nice.
door, and that is just such a gift. That's such a blessing.
So what do you do for fun? Like what's your I mean, you do Lord of the Rings, we know that part. But what else? I mean, you do like what's your downtime? What's your mental health stuff?
Yeah, so mental health, that is so very important because in my life have done some 12-step work. So for me, it's important to really look at things in our lives and how we can replace that with healthy things.
Mhm.
Because if you're not replacing the bad with the good,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a matter of I am deep into music. I love progressive rock. I like learning about Yes, Genesis, King Crimson, Jethro Tull, Caravan, newer bands like Dream Theater, the Neil Morris Band, Beardfish, Porcupine
Nice.
Tree.
Oh, man.
Dude,
So,
it's one of my people.
Yeah. So like I love music. So for me, like playing drums really helps me in my life. playing ukulele, playing guitar.
Dude, I got some people you need to. Oh, dude. Oh, this is so easy.
I'm learning a lot about Tom.
Dude,
too.
I know the coolest. Dude, when you get off, I told you I know some bands local, so and they're already on labels. Like, oh, dude, this is so easy. Oh my gosh, I love it when the cool people just come to you. Daniel, way to go, baby.
Right, you know.
Oh my gosh. So, you've been here. So food, like things that you like to eat, because we got to get them set up.
I'm from Buffalo, New York, and there's a big food culture over there. So coming here, I haven't found a good chicken wing place yet. I just haven't.
Where have you gone?
You need to guide me. Well, here I've only been in the area for 3 months, so I haven't been much, especially with a 2-year-old.
What?
I don't get to leave home too much.
Now, when you say chicken, define what you're looking for. Like sweet, a little salty. Are you looking for spicy?
I just want a good old crispy chicken wing.
Man, there's a place in Davison and I can't think of the
name
right now.
MD's. So MD's
like
is
I
good.
want to chip a tooth on that chicken.
What's that new Hamlin pub off of Davison Road's got some decent ones.
Been there yet.
What's that other place in Davison? There's another one, 60-cent wings on Wednesdays. That barn place.
That's not MD's?
No, because there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
MD's is right across from the.
Or
anyways, chicken wings, no problem. Wednesdays, they got a 60-cent wing place, which is pretty sad on boneless wings, and they're like this.
That's the place I'm thinking of that I can't think of.
Yeah.
But boneless wings are just glorified, crunchy, crispy chicken nuggets. But we'll give it.
Well, there's another one. That little place right downtown. That little bar right across from that's got the Hank Graff place right off M15.
Yeah.
They got good wings too. Just a hole in the wall joint. Super good wings. But yeah, we got those stuff, and then there's a couple of like corner guys that do some barbecue joints that you probably like. Are you a barbecue person?
I love barbecue.
Oh, well, you're
especially
in a good
some
spot.
Brisket, wet brisket.
So here's what you want to do. Honest to God, if you're in Flint, and if you have a business, make sure you send us a comment on this. These dudes sit up on the corners. There's a guy that goes to Fenton and
that's where I live at too.
Fenton and not Atherton. What's Hemphill? And there's a mobile on Sundays.
Yeah.
Dude, you can smell it from like a half mile away, and it's dude, my mouth is watering right now. Just
my favorite one is a guy named Barbecue Steve. His white truck.
Barbecue Steve, it's good.
Pulls his barbecue grill behind his white truck.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And every time you see him, he's like,
I've tracked him down, man. I've seen him go live on Facebook. And I'm looking at the video like, where is he?
Yeah,
I know that building.
Those
find him.
That's a little Flint thing. And so those little side gigs, right? Those side hustles, you'll find some super good.
Those are gyms in the community too.
Yeah. Then we'll hook you up with that. I'm really glad that you're veteran oriented, and the story that you gave us with your dad is very awesome. And grandfather, sorry. And Daniel, just as a fellow veteran, do that work, big boy. Yep. You're doing great. I love that you like to be funny. Like I try to be funny, but I was told that it only works.
I'm still new to the comic stuff, man, but I'm enjoying it.
I just feel like my face is perfect for radio.
I'm even in a play next month trying to just work up confidence on stage. So like that's really, I'm only doing it to work up some confidence.
I'll work on my like high pitched squeal.
Pretty good.
There you go. You're like, oh my God, get all your fannies.
Right.
All right. So I think we covered everything that are they doing a TV thing for the groundbreaking?
I believe so. They're going to have some news station putting out a press release for that as well, and inviting anybody and everybody we can to that as well. So
all right. And what's the date on that? Just
so we're still solidifying that, but it's definitely going to be the week of November 18th.
The week of November 18th, just picking a date and time. All right. And that's over on Stewart and
across from the North End Soup Kitchen on Stewart. Yep.
Stewart and what's
Saginaw?
Saginaw. That's what.
Maybe 4 miles up the road. Yep.
See, I grew up on Stewart and DuPont, so that's like.
Okay, you're right there.
Oh, it is. That's why going to the military was not that complex. I'm like, you only got to fight one at a time. Are you for real now? Because like school was, by the time you're 5 or 6, I mean, that tricycle is a problem.
Right.
So, anyways, that's kind of what I had for the show. I want to thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having us, man.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about? I know the coolest people, and if you are struggling, please do not struggle by yourself. Please. If you know someone struggling with drug rehabilitation, you check someone out. Please check a Celebrate Recovery. Go to Google, check it out. We're the one in Flint on Emmanuel Church if you want ours, but there's many, many other good ones. Go to UCAN, click on struggling if you know someone struggling there. And make sure you support our Out of the Mud Productions with King George, who always does a great job with us out here. I got to give a shout out to my IT guy, Todd, who's just putting up with the junk today. I just really appreciate you. I want to get that shout out because you're an amazing person. And to the rest of our team, Adam and Dawn, just doing a great job. And then if you're just struggling in life and you need something, need a little help, go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, click on struggling. We got people help with food, clothes, and baby formula. But if you need something that helps with your faith and your spirituality, go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, click on our videos. They're at no cost right now. And we are putting a price on those soon. So I need you to go on there and get those signed up before it costs, because we use